Hi besties, my name is Ashley McDonald. I'm the owner of AMCX Studio. I'm going to show you guys today how you can create massive decals using your own Cricut. I have a vinyl plotter and two Cricuts. Is it easier to do these big projects on the vinyl plotter? Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But if you have a Cricut, you can 1000% still do the jobs. It's gonna take a little extra work and some out of the box thinking. So if that's something that you're interested in learning about, stay tuned. Watch this video all the way through. Share it with your other crafting friends because I'm all about showing you guys ways to use what you have now in order to grow your business. I started off with one Cricut Explorer 1. I saved up, I continued, because everyone has a different journey. If you're interested in my own, I'll link a video down below so you can hear it, but we all start somewhere, and we're gonna use what we have in order to get where we want. So, let's do it. So, like I said, we can cut larger than life projects with the materials and the tools that we have available. Cricut users, we're limited to 11.5 by 23.5. Will they change it one day? Hopefully. But until they do, this is the space that we have to work with. I'm going to show you how to work with this space so that we can get what we want. I already have Cricut Design Space open now with the thing that we're going to use. Since we are limited to the 11.5 by 23.5, we're going to create a box, go over to shapes, hit square. It's going to populate a square. We're going to hit this bottom left corner and unlock this box so that we can get the proper size that we need. So we're going to type in 11.5 by 23.5, and we're going to lock this. And this is just going to help you guys see what we actually have available in order to cut, because although the machines are 12-inch cutters and the mats are slightly bigger, but they're 12-inch, 24, Cricut takes up some of that space, like, and it's a 1/4 of an inch on each side, which is the reason why we're left with 11.5 by 23.5. So we have our box. Let's say we want to cut this Styles by Me design here. Not that big. I don't want to go that big. Well, let's say we gotta cut it 24 now. I didn't take all my boxes. Okay. Let's do 30 inches. Not 3. 30 inches. Which is going to give us a height of 10. So the height part isn't going to be our issue. It's going to be the width. What we're going to do is break up this decal and add what I refer to as handles, because it's the easiest. It was the easiest thing for me to think of when I was making the video and stuff on TikTok when I originally did it. So we've got our box. Let's rotate this, and we're going to drag it to the back. We're going to turn our box, let's do a green, just so that we can see so we can tell the difference. So we're going to move this over. The me will stick out. No matter where we put this, it'll only be a little bit of the me. If you're sending this stuff to customers, we don't want them to get a graphic or text and stuff that's cut up. Now, I've done this before where I was sending large circle decals. So those circles, they ended up having to be cut. And I let my customers know beforehand, before I send it, like, hey, so here's how it's going to come up. This is what it's going to look like when it gets sent to you. If you are okay with this, let me know and we can go ahead and proceed. If you're not, I totally understand. And all of them they all ended up being okay. But let your customers know first before you just cut them up the decal and send it to them. Let them know ahead of time, because it's better to ask beforehand than for them to get it and then them not be happy with it. They shouldn't have a problem with it, especially if you go through and you add the handles like I'm going to show you how to do, because it's easy. One, it's going to be easier for them to install, I think anyways, because I've tried to do massive, like, one swipe 30-inch things, and it's hard for me. I don't know if it's going to be the same way for anybody else, but it's harder for me to install large graphics as opposed to when they're cut up into smaller pieces, but not everyone is like that. So just, you know, disclosures, forewarning, check with your people first before you go sending anything out. Make sure that they're okay with it. Give them the benefits of it, like easier to handle, especially because the people that I service are salon owners and things like that. So they've got a lot of other things on their plate, like maintaining their own business and stuff and making sure their clients are getting in and out. So it's easy, just double check with your people. So what we're going to do, we're going to I've already ungrouped it all. So if you're just uploading your decal, you might still have everything grouped up. What you're going to do, what you're going to want to do is ungroup your stuff. So right click, ungroup, select it, hit these little things up here in the top right corner, ungroup your stuff, but just make sure that we're able to move the pieces around. Since we know that our box is going to stop at styles, what we can do is go ahead, I'm going to weld mine. I personally enjoy welding it. It leaves it to where there is no question on what's going to be cut or not. I have other videos, like short videos, not super lengthy, so let me just give you a quick rundown. If you have script fonts, weld those things, because your machine is going to cut along the outline of each individual letter. Let me show you what I mean really quick. Just type that script. So if you have a font like this, it's going to cut where all of those outlines are. And it's fine for fonts like this. But if we switch it up, go to systems and we'll do the ALS Smudge Factory. Let's bring in our letter space, because this is actually a script font. I'm going to ungroup this because that piece should not be there. So here's a script-like font. I definitely know that it's kind of like more handwriting, but there's overlapping. It's going to serve its purpose for this explanation. We're going to change this from basic cut to pen just so I can show you everywhere where these things are overlapped. Zoom in, everywhere where those things are overlapped, your machine is going to cut along that. So if you don't weld it first, you're going to have that issue. Welding it is going to eliminate those overlaps, so it's just going to go along the outside of it, and it's going to give you a better professional looking end product. If you have the script font, don't leave your script fonts like this. Even if it's tough, because I want to say even if they prefer it, just let them know that this way looks a lot better. Maybe not say it exactly like that, but just explain to them like it's a script font, and script fonts look more professional when they're all touching. They're meant to be touching. And if they still insist, you can send it, but just understand whatever you send out is a reflection of you and your business. And I'd hate for anyone to see it and then feel like, oh, okay. So I don't want you guys to be set up and like be set up to do any, like, be set up for failure, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Because I want you guys to do really good at this stuff, because you can make a killing, a bomb business, do everything that you want. I was able to get it to where I could quit my job, do this stuff, and then I continued to grow it until my husband could do the same thing. So I know that it can be done. And I want you guys to have those same things if that is your goal. So back to this. Zoom back in on our current project. No more sidetracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld all of the stuff, but you can also group it. Let me show you that real quick. So welding it, everything will be one thing. If you just want, not group, if you just want to attach it, it will all show up as the one color. But again, if it's a script font that hasn't been welded yet, you could run into some issues. So I'm going to take this out because I've done my thing. We're going to take these two pieces, also weld them, and weld them again, weld or attach. But for the purpose of this video, we're just welding. So I personally just like to weld. So I've got that sectioned off, and this is going to be 21.145 by 10, just over 10 inches. And we're going to take these two pieces and weld them together. So we have two separate parts of this decal. So if I was to send this out to a customer, they're going to get two different pieces that they will then have to put together. But I'm going to show you how to make it easier, because if you send it like this, I mean, technically you can, but if you send it like this, it might be hard for them to like line everything back up and make sure everything's even. So my goal always when I send out decals is to make sure that it's the easiest thing to install for them. So we're going to get rid of, no, let's keep this. We'll just slide this down and we'll use a couple more boxes. I'm going to use rectangles just because it's going to be just slightly easier. So in order to get a rectangle, we're going to unlock it, we're going to drag it. These don't have to be any exact size. It's literally just as placeholders while they're putting everything back together. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm dropping these two boxes. Let's put them as blue. So we've got these boxes. Now I'm going to slice these so that we can have two sides of the same box, and that's going to give us our handles. I'm going to create another larger square or rectangle, place it over this, select both of them, right click and slice, or use the slice quick tools down here. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to weld this to this piece. So we have this with our handle, and then we're going to take this blue one and weld it to this one. So we have this piece with our handle. I'm going to take out the slice parts. So if you send it like this, there'll be two handles there, and when they get it, they just have to line it up. And it should be flush. But two handles are better than one, because they're able to get a better idea of where the things are supposed to go, and it's two reference points, which is nice. So we're going to do another slice, get another box. I definitely did not need that rectangle that much, so I'm gonna fix that. So we'll put this one here, create the box, slice it out. Let's hide that so that I can grab those two boxes. Select, slice. Unhide everything. I'm gonna move this over, we'll move that there. So we're gonna select these two sides, weld them together. So now we've got this box. And now we're gonna have this box. So when move forward in your cutting process with your Cricut. Take this out and that out, and I'll show you this. So we've got this with the 2 handles, and it'll cut out this with the 2 handles. Oh, side note, and then I think we're going to be done with this video because I'm getting ready to run out of screen recording time. If you're sending this to someone's business, what you're going to want to ask them and make sure that it's in your listings or description or anything like that is if this is going to go on the inside or the outside of their window. So inside placement, you're going to want to reverse the cut. You're going to want to make it look like that. It's going to appear backwards and it's going to look weird, but it'll all work out in the end. If they're hanging it up in their business, some businesses, some like lease holders and stuff, you can only put it on the outside. Some you can only put it on the inside. If their business windows are tinted, it needs to go on the outside because it'll dull the look of the vinyl, especially if it's white or a bright color. It just won't come out the way that it's supposed to. But so there's that. We made it through the video. Sorry I tried to speed things up at the end, but once you get everything cut, it will look nice. Apply your transfer tape. It'll be easy for them to install. If you guys have any questions, any videos that you want me to help you with, comment down below. Don't forget, you guys can do big things with what you already have. Don't let anyone try to discourage you because I 1000% believe in you and know that it can be done because I'm doing it. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I hope that this is helpful. I will talk to you guys soon. I love you, besties. Bye.